Welcome, everybody out there in the internet, to episode 96. The countdown continues to 100 of Sis and Big Pops culture. As always, I am Todd Turner, the Mosaic Fan Art.
Hi, sweet friends. My name is Hannah Jo, aka Sis, and together we are an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
Yeah, so Hannah.
Yes.
Tell everybody what we do here for the last 96.5 episodes.
Clever. We are going to start as usual by chitter-chatting about nerd news that we think is fun and cool, or that we think the other person would think is fun and cool. And then we're going to chat about what we've been binging, whether that's books, media, anything. And then Pops is going to share his pull list with us. If you don't know what a pull list is, don't stressy spaghetti about it. I will love to tell you about that later. Yeah, we don't need to be stressy spaghetti.
And then
we're going to talk about Gravity Falls. I was right that time because Dad, thank you. I was like, oh no, am I saying the right thing? Because Dad watched it all. And it is one of my most favorite.
My COVID adventure.
Yes, Daddy got sick.
Yeah. So anyway, guys,
says, finally,
yeah. And those of you who don't know, you can follow along and play along with us live when we record this on my Facebook page. We usually do it about every Tuesday or every other Tuesday. So Tuesday evening around 6:45 Central, 7:45 Eastern.
Yes.
Hop on and join Sis and Big Pops culture because we are counting down to 100.
Woo!
We're going to have like guests galore. We don't have anybody scheduled.
We're not going to have any guests.
Anyway, we might. Who knows? You never know. Something crazy might happen. So let's dive right into nerd news to us. Hannah, take it away.
Hi.
From the news desk in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yes. Okay, so we know that Frozen 3 and Frozen 4 have been approved.
Oh, I saw where somebody quit working at Disney just to work on these. Like they gave up their position.
Jennifer Lee is the the chief creative officer at Disney Animation. And Jennifer Lee is one of the individuals who wrote the script.
Okay.
And directed Frozen 1 and Frozen 2.
Okay.
And so she has stepped down from being the chief creative officer
just to work on these two movies.
She can write and direct Frozen 3 and 4.
Okay, I knew it was someone. I didn't know what their part was.
Yeah, her name is Jennifer Lee. Okay, here's why I care about this. I care about this A, because I love Frozen.
Okay.
I love Frozen. I care about this B because
no, that's
that
not
is
Frozen.
Literally the Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. Anyway, keep going.
Dad.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Go ahead. I did that on purpose.
You did it.
100% I did. I knew it was Little Mermaid. I was like, okay, fine. You don't have to believe me.
I did that on purpose.
100% did it on purpose.
Okay, I guess you did it on purpose, Dad.
Hakuna Matata.
What a wonderful phrase.
Yeah.
So they did like the creation of Frozen 2 and as like a documentary on Disney Plus. Disney Plus? Disney Plus? Is that what that's called?
Probably. Yes.
That was excellent. I've watched it so many different times. I've maybe watched it more times than I've watched Frozen 2.
I did watch the shorts thing. That was funny.
Yeah. The Olaf shorts. That's hysterical.
Yeah, those were hilarious.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so I watched the making of Frozen 2, and Jennifer Lee was all over the making of Frozen 2. Of course she was, because she's the director and co-writer
She got her finger in all the sauce.
She's got it for her, yeah. But so yeah, I don't know
Right.
I get it, I guess, but I don't know if I would step down. I don't know.
She got enough. She making the
hold her
bank.
job for her?
Yeah, I don't know how that work.
I don't either.
This must be important.
It's important to her. It's important enough for them to let her do it.
Maybe this time. You know what I remember most about Frozen 1?
What?
The lack of merchandise at Christmas time. I thought
they didn't know it was going to be as big as it was.
I thought, geez, Louise, that was just so bad. I mean, they could have sold so much stuff that Christmas. And
Olaf?
But anyway.
They didn't have Olaf plushes anywhere.
I know. It's crazy. Now they're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Have you seen the trailer for the Lara Croft Tomb Raider anime coming to Netflix?
No.
Guess who?
Young or old? It's Tomb Raider. So is it?
It's like regular. I mean, it's like, but it's voiced by Haley Atwell, Peggy Carter.
I like Haley Atwell.
Yeah. So it comes out October 10th, and we're getting a Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Is it an animated or is it an anime?
It's an anime, so it's animated, but it's like anime manga style, I guess.
Okay.
You know.
Haley Atwell, we love.
I know. Since we're not going to get Peggy Carter anymore or Agent Carter.
Let this woman just be Agent Carter. That was such a good show.
And then she was Captain Carter in that terrible.
In the What If. In the very, very bad What If.
The Doctor Strange movie, too.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when Scarlet Witch.
Oh, yes, I remember that.
Yeah. So anyway.
Okay.
What else I got here?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are we going back and forth, or do you want to tell me?
No, you go ahead. Tell me what you got. What else you got?
Okay. The Duffer Bros have a new Netflix series coming out.
Wait, the ones that did Stranger Things?
Yes.
Because they did a big table read of Stranger Things just recently. David Harbour said that there were tears galore.
They have a new Netflix series called The Boroughs.
Okay, I saw that, but I didn't know what it was. What's it about?
So it is, here's what it says.
So is it going to be a creepy...
Set in a seemingly picturesque retirement community where a group of unlikely heroes must band together to stop an otherworldly threat from stealing the one thing they don't have, time. And when I'm reading about it...
Is this Stranger Things when they're in the nursing home?
It literally is. Is this... That was the first thing was, is this Stranger Things in a retirement community? Mike!
Mike's not here, Dad. Mike died 10 years ago. Anyway, yeah, that'd be horrible.
Okay,
oh, gosh.
But the reason that I wanted to tell you is that one of the characters, one of the actors is from Station 11, Carlos Miranda.
Who is he? What did he play in Station 11?
I'm Googling it right this second because I don't know.
Because Station 11, if you don't know, is like one of my favorite shows. And it's like 10 or 11 episodes and it's done. It is adult themed. And it's on HBO Max. It is a end of civilization type of show, but
I'm Googling it and it's not.
It's all right. That's okay.
Oh, it's not Station 11. It's Station 19.
I don't even know what the heck that is.
I just can't read.
That's the 8 more seasons. Station 11.
The 8th season of...
gosh.
He's from Station 19, which is an ABC San Francisco...
Is it like a fire? Like a fire station? Oh, gosh.
Oh,
That's funny. Thank you for thinking of me, though. I like that. And will I watch it? Probably. Yeah. It's funny because I was listening to a music video yesterday that they played on the music was at the end of one of the Station 11 episodes.
That's hysterical.
Can I kick it?
Bill Pullman is in it.
Can I kick it? Oh, the President of the United States?
The President of the United States is in it. Gina Davis is in it.
There's no crying in baseball. That's what we should start doing. Every time you mention somebody, we'll just do one of their things from one of their movies.
Dennis O'Hare?
No clue who that is.
Do I know who Dennis O'Hare is?
I don't.
They think that I should.
All right. Well.
Who knows? American Horror Stories.
Oh, don't watch that.
Yeah, me either. But, okay, so never mind. I literally brought this up because it was I thought that you're a guy from Station 11 was in it, and it was the wrong
cool.
station.
I still think it's fun. It's the movie Cocoon and Stranger Things mixed together.
I'm dead that it's a retirement community.
That's so funny. It's like, can we not come up with an original idea?
No.
Okay. The only thing they don't have left is time. How harsh is that?
That's so
Tell your mom,
funny.
listen, we only got about 25 good years left. If you want to do something, let's do it
running
now.
out of time.
If we're gonna
Whippersnappers.
if we're gonna whip these aliens and evil creatures in the other dimensions, we got to get started now.
I need him to say Independence Day at some point. I need him to just say
Yeah.
Independence Day.
Gosh, I hope not. Which is funny, bringing it back to Station 11, because in Station 11, one of the characters wants to audition for the Shakespearean troupe, and all they make you do is do Shakespeare. And he's like, can I please do something different? And it's like, fine, we'll open it up one time. And he does Bill Pullman's speech from Independence Day.
Yes.
It is so good.
Yes.
So good.
Classic. Okay. It all comes back to Station 11, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, Dad, your piece of news.
So these are two pieces of news. One's a little bit past and one is coming up. So I haven't been to a lot of movies lately, but I do go. And I'm never the one to buy the take home popcorn bucket.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Bring it on.
But the Venom movie that's coming out, the popcorn bucket is literally Venom's face. And you have to put your hand down in his mouth to get your popcorn. So I saw that and it looks crazy.
These popcorn buckets just get more and more cursed.
So I don't know if you know, but I've been filling in on the Pull List podcast.
Yes, I did know that.
So the last episode we recorded with Hector, they apparently, because HBO's released The Penguin, so they re-released for one day only in Dolby surround sound
Batman?
Matt Reeves' Batman. The bucket is a working bat signal.
Trevin have you seen the Batman light popcorn bucket?
It is literally, it's huge, it's big, and it's on a stand, and it literally works.
How much is it?
I don't know. Hector got one. He went and saw it.
That's so cool.
He said the sound was so loud.
Man, I remember we went and watched Dune Part 2 in IMAX, and I had to wear my headphones. I keep loop earplugs in my wallet at all times.
It's so loud.
And I had to put my loops in my ears.
Oh gosh.
Oh, well, here's the thing, y'all. If you're paying attention to us on Facebook and you want to buy the bat signal, my dear sweet husband has put it in the chat.
That's funny.
That's hysterical.
Yeah. Well, what else you got? Oh, here's something. Go ahead. No,
you go
ahead. This is something for all you. I'm buying all my media digitally or physically. Galaxy Quest is getting a 4K Blu-ray release with a limited edition stillback option box. So that is a must buy.
That's hysterical.
Galaxy Quest is fantastic. Have you ever watched that, Hannah?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Alan Rickman is like their Spock.
By Grapthar's hammer.
By Grapthar's, I was going to say, they say something.
You
shall be avenged.
Yeah, I even cry in that movie.
And when he says it to the guy who is taking it so seriously, I cried.
Yeah, it's so sweet. I miss Alan Rickman.
You are going to avenge him, are you?
Yeah. How can I like him so much and hate him so much in that other movie?
Because he's excellent as an actor.
Yeah, you're right.
That's why.
Yeah. What else you got?
Okay. Did you watch the Squid Games season 2 teaser?
No, because I didn't watch the first series. That's not my jam. But I mean, that's the show where they all they do things and people die and everything in it. And the last man standing gets enough money to pay off their house.
Yeah. No, it's literally $100 million. It's an absurd amount of money.
I still wouldn't do it.
I mean, yeah, of course not. And it was a very good TV show.
Okay, that's cool.
It was spooky. I would not let kids watch it. It was a problem when it came out too because kids were playing these games.
Oh, I know. And wearing the outfits.
We're like talking and like, oh yeah, let's play the Squid game. I'm like, it's literally red light, green light. Like, did you not play this before Squid Games? Like, did you not know red light, green light until this exact moment in time?
No clue.
We played red light, green light. I'm not that old.
I know. Red light, green light, so easy to cheat at.
Well, not in Squid Games, it ain't. I'm just saying.
Oopsie daisy.
But anyways, I watched the teaser trailer. I think that they're going to add a lot to the lore. I think that it's going to be interesting. I hope it's not overdone.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised that they're doing a season 2, but I will watch the season 2.
Well, they're doing a season 2 because season 1 was so popular. You know that. They're not going to miss out on that. Yep.
So I just wanted to tell you that I watched it.
I have 2 more pieces of news before I want to get to the final trailer.
I have one more piece of news. So you tell
me.
We'll go back and forth again.
Okay. So, Humble Bundles.
I don't know what that is.
Which Humble Bundle is, we've talked about this before. I'll give you an example. So Image Comics has a Humble Bundle out right now where you get 43 books valued at $633 for 18 bucks.
Yes.
They're really good. A lot of horror in it. Some stuff that's questionable, and it's definitely adult. And I thought, well, I think I want to get this because it's like it's trades.
Oh, fun!
It's all digital. Didn't know that.
Oh, lame.
So, well, and then when you get to thinking about it, $18 for that many books, wouldn't even pay for shipping. So I decided I didn't want to do that. But if you do, they've got a great one out, and a portion of it goes to charity. They also have one out for Hellboy. You get 35 titles valued at $666. You think they did that on purpose?
Yes, 100%.
I think it was for $30, and it's all Hellboy related material.
Gotcha. So that makes a lot of sense if you don't care so much about a comic being physical.
Copies, which I do.
Yeah. But Trevin literally just put in the chat, comics are a physical medium.
Yeah.
LOL.
The cool thing is, it's funny because Ice Cream Man, which is the big popular horror comic right now, and they're going to make it into a show or something. I don't know. You could get almost every volume of Ice Cream Man. I've read Ice Cream Man digitally because I didn't collect them to begin with, and now to go back and get them, it would cost.
It would be too expensive.
Yeah. But anywho, that's an option. And if somebody wants to, and like I said, they only ask for this much. You can give whatever, but anything, a portion of it goes. And I guess that makes sense because they can do it at that price and then give a portion of it to charity because you don't have to pay for paper and shipping and all that kind of stuff. So it's just
it's probably more money to charity that way too.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. My last piece of news is kind of a piece of news.
Uh-oh, kind of.
It's kind of a piece of news.
Okay.
We are hosting our very first ever Over the Garden Wall
party. Okay.
OTGW party.
Over the Garden Wall party. Okay. And
on Friday.
This coming Friday. And it's moderately themed, but I think in the future we want to do, Trevin really wants to do a 10-course extravaganza where there's a different piece of like food or beverage for each episode. But that was a bit much to do when I'm in Memphis and he's in Nashville. Are you going to have jelly beans?
We're going to have candy. Are we going to have candy? We might. I don't know. We're for sure going to have.
Isn't jelly beans one of the things that he.
No, because he goes.
It's candy.
Pocket candy.
Candy. Yeah, that's right. Candy,
we're doing chicken pot pie because fall, and then a baked potato bar with optional molasses and dirt pudding.
Okay, that sounds fun.
Yes, it will.
Sounds great. I've been invited to an Over the Garden Wall party on October the 6th. So that's in New Albany, Indiana. It's a Sunday, so I probably.
I mean, that's Louisville. That's an hour 45.
Yeah, it depends. Yeah, because I do have to work the next day.
Yeah.
My last piece of news before we get to the major piece of news is another Netflix show animation is now finally in production. Magic the Gathering.
Do you think it's going to be good?
I don't know, but they talked about that. They started this 5 years ago, and they're just now starting production. So listen, I started collecting the comic when they came back out. I had the comic ages ago, but I started collecting it when it first came back out, and it was good for a while. And then I was like, the lore is so heavy.
Yeah,
it was
a bit
hard
much
for me. Yeah,
yeah.
And it was good writing, but that was it. Okay.
Did you ever finish the Dungeons and Dragons movie?
No, but I started it over.
It's okay.
I did start it over.
I hear you.
And I got to a part where...
I know exactly what part you got to.
No, you don't, because I had to turn it off and stop and do something else.
Oh.
She had just went back to see the little guy that she loved. And he had found somebody else.
And it was
another
Bradley
tall
Cooper.
woman. Yes. Yes.
He was like a hobbit. He was a halfling.
Something. He was smaller than that, even, yeah.
Well, they're not allowed to say hobbits, and so they're halflings.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
But it's a hobbit.
So there you go. I gotcha. So, folks, the Thunderbolts trailer just dropped. And I really wasn't this excited for this movie. Even after I watched the panel at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, college.
After watching the trailer, I am so ready for 2025. We are going to get so much cool stuff in 2025. Hannah, what did you think of the trailer? If you haven't watched the trailer, I suggest you go watch it.
It is. So my roommate asked me if I had watched the trailer or if I even knew what the Thunderbolts were, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's just Marvel Suicide Squad."
Not really.
But Dad.
No.
Okay.
I mean, yes and no. It was right when they created it. That's pretty much
it was
what it
because
was.
of it's Marvel Suicide Squad, and I'm not mad about that. Mm-hmm. Give me Marvel Suicide Squad. I'll watch it. I like DC Suicide Squad.
You knew all the characters but one.
I literally have written down who is Bob.
Okay, so when I watched the trailer and I saw that they had the dude named Bob, I about freaked. Because in the early 2000s, Marvel created a new comic book character.
Okay.
Who had been around forever, and then all of the characters had been erased from their memory. And even erased from his memory, who he was. He is a superhero called the Sentry, who is like stronger than Superman. And guess who his best friend was and best man in his wedding? Why would I be excited?
Oh, Blue Beetle.
No, Blue Beetle. That's DC.
I can't remember what the guy is.
Reed Richards. Reed Richards.
Still DC.
Yeah, Mr. Fantastic.
That's exciting.
And so what happened was they created this comic book, and this guy is basically mentally unstable. He has agoraphobia. And he is that, which is why it looked like he was almost in a straitjacket, if you notice that. And what happens is his villain that he's reawakened. His knowledge of who he is reawakened slowly because he has this feeling that his villain that is like can destroy the entire world is coming back. And so there's like a 5-issue miniseries where the Sentry comes back and he goes and people slowly start to remember.
Uh-oh.
And yeah. So I thought, you know what? I think I'm going to go back and rebuy those books because I used to have them. No.
Expensive.
$200 for the 5-issue. I'm like, forget that noise. I just read it for free on Hoopla.
Okay. Can I tell you something that I just found out that I think is very funny?
What?
Guess who is playing Bob?
Who? He looked familiar.
Lewis Pullman.
Oh, yes.
Guess
Yes.
who Lewis Pullman played?
Bill Pullman's son. Wait.
He played Bob in Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, did he really?
He was the guy who was
you
Bob.
kidding me? That was his character in that? That's
His
funny.
character in that's hysterical. His character, it was Bob, and now he's playing Bob again.
This character is stronger than Superman.
That's so funny.
But he is emotionally unstable,
He doesn't look well.
which is another aspect of that. And actually was best friends with, like, he had the ability to calm the Hulk down and have a real meaningful conversation. And the Hulk was trusted him above everything.
Wild.
And Reed Richards was the best man in his wedding, best friend. Yeah. It's really cool because Marvel went back and they did that miniseries, and then they had like 5 little one shots that was stories told in like the 1960s from when the Sentry was around, with all these different, like with the Avengers, with the X-Men, with the but they were drawn like old Jack Kirby comics because that's when he was been around that far. But anyway, yeah. So I'm excited for that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I'm dead that it's Bill Pullman's son and that he was Bob and
I'll
something
see if
else.
the Sentry miniseries might be on Kindle Unlimited, and maybe
we could watch that.
Read that.
Or I have enough downloads now on Hoopla.
Well, there you go. Yep. All right, Hannah.
Yes.
What are you binging? What are
Okay.
you reading, watching, listening, whatever?
Okay. Teeny Bopper vampire books.
BTW. I have a feeling that this year at the Lexington Comic Convention, it's going to be a Twilight reunion.
Let's go.
And this is the year I wasn't even going to get
You're
a
not
booth.
going.
I might change my mind. I might change my mind. Anyway, Teeny Bopper Vampire Books.
Teeny Bopper vampire books. I'm reading through the Crave series right now.
Okay.
By Tracy Wolf with 2 F's.
Wait, is that on purpose?
I hope that that's her real name.
Do you liken her books?
Dad.
Sorry, that was terrible.
That was bad.
Terrible.
Yeah. I'm a fan.
Okay, go.
I'm a fan. I've been listening.
I'm howling with laughter.
Literally stop.
Okay, sorry.
No one can
my
see.
jokes.
This is an auditory medium, and you're like making
My jokes really bite, don't they?
Literally stop.
Dad joke upon dad joke. Okay, keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay,
Keep
so I've been listening to them on graphic audio
Okay.
when I drive, and I am
All right.
on book 2, the end of book 2.
Okay.
And we have a teeny bopper love triangle brewing.
Oh my gosh, this is terrible.
Love to see it.
right.
So I've been reading teeny bopper vampire books. Trevin and I watched the first episode of Sherlock, and Trev had never seen
So
Sherlock
good.
before.
I literally just watched. I went back and picked and chose and watched the. I think
No
it's something-
spoilers because he's listening.
Okay, I don't know the thing of 3. It's the one where
the sign of
he gets
3.
married.
Yes,
the sign of 3.
Yes. Love.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites. We watch. I
Yeah.
mean, we started at the beginning, so we
Because
watched.
there's a dead nun in it for you. Is that what he says to the little kid? I can't remember.
It's hysterical.
Yeah, the Invisible Man. Anyway,
We did the something in pink.
yeah,
Studies
Lady in Pink.
Or Study in Pink or something
Study
like
in
that.
Pink. Yeah,
And that was the first one, and it was very good.
was very good. Yeah.
I've also been I've been cross.
So if you people don't know, we watch that on Hulu. It does have ads.
It's also on Amazon.
What?
That's what I heard.
Okay, well, cool.
Well,
'Cause
because
I
here's the
hate
thing.
watching it with
we
the
were
ads.
watching it on Hulu, and we didn't get ads, but it had really jerky stops.
Oh, we had ads,
And it was like,
anyway,
oh, this is supposed to probably be ads, but we didn't get any.
Gotcha.
I've also been watching Trevin play a lot of video games while I cross stitch.
Okay.
We finished Firewatch, which is a playthrough where you are playing as a man in his like late 40s, early 50s. And his wife had early onset Alzheimer's to the point where she was put in a home. And so he decides to go live in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness for a summer.
Okay.
And it's his it's like the storyline of his of the shenanigans and like stuff that happens to him.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It honestly was excellent, and it was beautiful, and the storytelling was like honestly very, very lovely and tender. And he decides that he's going to go back and like be there. So it was very tender. I was not mad about it. It's like there's some like cursing in it and things like that, so maybe not for children's, but I really enjoyed it. And you get to like pick and choose where it's like a choose your own adventure while you're following a story. And so you get to kind of like be in charge of the dialogue. And so I got to help pick what we wanted to say while Trevin was running around, which I enjoyed because I didn't have to do anything. And then I watched him play a game that I think kids could play. And it's called A Short Hike, where you play as like a bird and you're like a child in this like national park where you're supposed to go on a hike for cell reception because you can't get cell reception, and your aunt's like, "Well, go on a hike."
Do you have to listen to National Park? What's that called? The band
National Park Radio that Trevin likes. No, you don't have to do that.
While you're playing it.
But it was really cute, and you get to do like all these side quests, and you get to like. There's like a main storyline, but you also can like talk to all these people and do these side quests while you're doing the main storyline, and it also is visually appealing. It's like watercolor paintings, very beautiful, and.
Oh my gosh.
Trevin started playing Zelda Tears of the Kingdom again, which is my favorite thing.
Tears of the Kingdom? Isn't that what we said?
Tears. Tears.
Tears
of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom. All right. And I love watching that. It's fun for me while I cross stitch.
Well, I am not playing any video games except for the one that's on my phone that I play on all the time. The Binding of Isaac, Repentance. It's terrible. So I went back and started rewatching WandaVision in preparation for Agatha All Along.
Was that good?
So let me tell you right now, I think I've gotten through the first 4 episodes of WandaVision and then went and watched the 2 episodes of Agatha All Along. I'm glad I did because a bunch of the characters from that show are in this show.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in Westview, the same town.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, one of the ladies who becomes part of her coven is the lady who was in That 70s Show.
Yes, I love her. Kitty.
Yes, so she is in it.
That's not her name, but she plays.
So there's rear end nudity in it.
Yeah. I read about that.
I was like, what?
Wanted to have a nude scene in it.
It was just her.
It's her butt, but still.
Her tushy. I was like,
on Disney? Okay,
that threw me off. I mean, they've got all kinds of stuff on Disney, but I didn't check to see what it was rated. I didn't know. I just assumed it would be like PG-13, but I don't know what rating that would make the TV, whatever.
But that makes it PG-13.
Yeah, but it's TV, right? So
yeah.
So they're introducing all these characters that I don't know who any of them are, except there's a boy. I say boy. I would say he's probably 17 years old, 16 maybe. And I think he is Scarlet Witch's son, Wiccan. So I think that one's Billy.
Sir.
Is that Billy?
I don't know.
There's Billy and Tommy. I can't remember which one's which. But yes, I believe that because he tries to tell her who he is and what he is, and every time he says something about who he is or what his name is, he'd start talking to me.
It's Billy.
Yeah, you can't hear what he's saying. It's all mumbled. And she's like, nobody can make it out. But I have a feeling. Yeah.
Agatha All Along is rated TV 14.
There's no way. There's no way.
I'm not in charge of ratings. I'm just reading you what it says on the Disney Plus website.
Okay, so did I like it? I'm not big into witchcraft stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. No.
And but it's okay. Yeah, I'll keep watching it. Because I like Catherine Hahn, and actually Aubrey Plaza is pretty good in it.
Aubrey Plaza is funny.
Yeah, but she's usually just mean all the time. And but she's in it. Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting show. So yeah, I did watch that.
Dad, in the
What?
comics, did
Yes.
Scarlet Witch imagine her kids into reality?
We read that.
I was going to say they are real,
No,
but other people can interact with them.
they when she had children, they were not real. They were used part of some type of soul thing. So they were not real, and they ended up getting sucked back in, and she lost her children, and then she went crazy, and the vision got destroyed. It was just a total disaster. But now I don't know how. I've got a gap, a comic gap,
A pretty substantial gap, would you say?
pretty substantial comic gap, a 10-year comic gap.
And somewhere in
Maybe
that
15.
10-year, they're real.
They're
now.
both out. So now one of them, I think one of them is married to the Hulkling. I think Billy Wiccan is now married to the Hulkling, who is, they call him the Hulkling. He's like half Kree, half Skrull.
Spooky.
And he's now the king. He's now the king of the Skrull king. The Skrull
Gotcha.
Kree is
So
combined.
when they were originally created,
They
it
were-
was no.
It
But
was
in the world we live in now,
yes,
even though that world doesn't exist and it's all made up anyways.
right. They do exist now.
They exist. Okay.
Yeah, Tommy and
I was
Billy.
going to say, because I've heard that they do and I've heard that they don't.
They didn't. Now they do.
Okay, we love.
Right. So who
Let's
knows?
change the rules.
It's okay. Yeah. So okay. I started watching the season 2 of the Lord of the Rings,
Yeah, are you liking it?
and it's uncomfortable.
It's bad.
Well, no, it's not bad. It's really good, but the Sauron character is just evil, and he's manipulating people, and he's bad, and like Elrond's pleading with them, don't, because they've got the 3 rings made for the elves. And he's like, don't use them. And they put them on, of course. And he's like, you don't listen to a word I say. He's useless. But then Gandalf and the 2 halflings are trudging through the desert. But yeah, it is really good. But it's one of those where I have to turn it off
Yeah.
and then maybe turn it back on because I get uncomfortable.
Yeah, I hear you.
But so that's on Amazon. Of course, the Agatha All Along is on Disney Plus.
Yep.
I'm reading a lot. I read the Sentry miniseries because of this. And I also read Infamous Ironman, which is the book where Dr. Doom takes over the mantle of Iron Man. Not Iron Man taking over the mantle of Dr. Doom, but
Vice
the other way
versa.
around. And it's a really good book. He wants to do good, but nobody believes him. And I'm sure by the end of this book, it's going to be horrible. And I've also been reading a lot of comics based on the Ultimate Universe, which is because there's a character that Reed Richards becomes in that universe. He becomes the most evil villain ever, called the Maker.
Classic.
And I just wanted to read up more on it. And I went back and I looked about buying the book where he basically becomes the Maker the first time. And I have a second printing. It happens to be also the first appearance of Miles Morales in the same book. So
you're
it's
not
like,
going to buy that.
no, it's $500. Not going to do
Yeah.
that. Guess what I started watching? Go ahead.
You go first.
Guess what I started watching last night?
I was going to ask if you had
Netflix.
started listening to The Hobbit, but
No, not yet.
I don't know. What did you start watching last night on Netflix?
Uglies.
Oh, I haven't started watching it yet. Is it good?
Well, I don't know. I'm to the point now where I don't know what it is about the book because you read the books, where her fella has already left her friend
Yep.
and had his thing, and she's supposed to go meet him on a bridge.
Well,
and
she's the youngest. And
yeah,
in her
she's got like
friends
a
group.
month to go.
So everyone in her friend group becomes a pretty and she's
They don't-
left by herself.
They don't talk about that right now. Right now, that's only her and this fella.
Yeah,
are the
so
only
she's the
friends.
youngest in her friend group, and the mountain that she goes on top of is actually a roller coaster. And
Okay,
then
well,
she
we haven't gotten to that yet.
vanishes
So stop.
okay.
Stop.
I love these books so much.
Okay. So, but anyway, it's well done so far.
Really? Okay, I was on my list. I really wanted to watch it, but then you were like, "Let's talk about Gravity Falls," and I was like,
Well, let's
yes!
we'll talk about Uglies next time, and maybe Sentry.
I also watched the documentary Cheer with my roommate. It's on Netflix.
Cheerleading.
It's about cheerleading. It's about why are you shaking your head?
Because I do not want to watch something like that.
It's an excellent documentary. It's the Navarro College's competitive cheer squad, and they win, and it's a random little associate's degree community college in the middle of Texas. And these people come from around the United States
just to do cheerleading there.
And then if you cheer there, you were like, and graduate from that program, you're like guaranteed a spot at like UK for cheerleading.
Oh, okay.
And so you like go from this associate's place to like other really big cheer places.
Gotcha. Wow.
And I don't care a lot about cheerleading.
I had one more piece of news I forgot to tell you. So we're going to talk this in my comic book thing. I know. In my comic book thing, we're going to talk about this because the writer wrote my book of the week. But Mark Waid, he's like an old school comic book writer. He let it slip on a podcast this week that Krypto will be in the Superman movie and shooting lasers out of heat vision out of his eyes, which makes me hope that he shows up in the Supergirl movie show too.
Well, if they're doing Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, Krypto has to be in it.
I know it.
That's literally the entire plot.
I know. All right.
Okay.
All right, Hannah. What's now?
Matt is going to share with us his pull list. Our dear sweet friends, if you don't know what a pull list is, friend, I'm so glad that you've said something about it. I would love to tell you what it is. A pull list is a list that you give the proprietor of your local comic book shop. And what they do with that list is they pull from their inventory when they get in new stock, the comics that you're collecting. That way you can get what you want. First printing. Because Dad, that matters a lot to my dear sweet papa. So what Dad is going to share with us, he's going to share 5 books with us. He's going to share with us a Marvel book, a DC book, an independent book. He's going to share with us a new #1. Collecting comics can be spooky, scary, especially when some of these legacies are like Legacy 1125. And that's terrifying. So if you don't know where to start, we're going to give you a new #1. You can go straight to your local comic book shop and purchase this and start collecting from there. He also is going to share with us his book of the week, which is his most favoritist book that he pulled this past week.
Yeah, this week there's a lot of old school feel comics that I chose. I had some really good ones, but now we haven't talked for a little while. But I think these are all from the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
My first one is a DC book. It is Wonder Woman issue 13. DC Comics has been doing this thing called Absolute Power, where Amanda Waller is taking over the world. I have. This is so the superheroes don't have any powers, but Wonder Woman has teamed up with someone to rescue. To release all the superheroes and villains that have been held captive. And she teams up with...
Poison Ivy?
No, it's Damian Wayne.
That's maybe better.
It is hilarious.
Damian Wayne is such a little turd.
The best thing, it is so good because first, Wonder Woman runs in with Colonel Trevor.
Yes.
Which is her love interest. And they like have a little brief moment where they kiss, and Damian's like, "This is terrible. This is horrible. You know, we have work to do. We should never do this. Blah 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 blah." So
how old is he?
13.
I was going to say
14. He's young, but so it is them rescuing. Releasing all the superheroes, and you're seeing this play out, and how Damian is like just a turd, and how Wonder Woman. But anyway, so. That's the first 3/4 of the book. The last 1/4 of the book is a different story. And it is, so we've talked about how they now have Wonder Woman's daughter is in these books, but we don't know where she came, but blah, blah, blah. But anyway, so it is, Trinity is her daughter's name. And they've been doing a bunch of stories with Trinity, who's really like maybe 5 years old, and Damian Wayne and John Kent, they're now Batman and Superman, and they're taking care. They're basically treat her like their little sister. So Damian Wayne is now like in his 20s, upper 20s, and he's telling Trinity the story of how he and her mother worked together to save all these people. And it is Damian Wayne's view of how this previous book took place.
Oh no.
And it is hilarious. It is so fun to read.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, it is so good. You get to read really how it happened and how Damian is explaining, like, I had to save your mother. And she's making out like on every other panel for like, she's like, which absolutely didn't happen. But anyway.
Do you remember us reading on Webtoon Batman: The Wayne Family Adventures?
Yeah, absolutely. It's that sort of vibe on the.
That's the vibe that I'm getting.
Yeah, from on that back part. Yeah.
Okay.
It's so well done though.
That's a fun.
Yeah. So my Marvel book is Uncanny X-Men Issue 2. They just restarted the X-Men. And so we've restarted the X-Men all over again, and we are introduced to a group of new mutants, very similar to young kids who are called the Outliers. And Wolverine is struggling because I'm not a mentor. I'm not doing that no more. I can't do that no more.
He's such a drama queen about being a mentor.
But a lot of stuff has gone on with the mutants over the last year. And the cool thing was the characters in it, the Outliers. I really like them. I think they're going to be interesting. I could read a new comic book with these folks in it. So, and they're basically, we've got nowhere else to go, you know. And they hook up with these old grizzled X-Men. This is the best X title that's been relaunched, Uncanny X-Men.
I love that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you're loving it.
Yeah. So my independent book is from Image.
We love Image.
It is Geiger, issue 6.
You've talked about Geiger before.
Yeah, I love Geiger. Geiger is the guy. It's set in a apocalyptic future, and he's radiation man, basically. And he's got this two-headed wolf that follows him around. And what had happened is the last couple issues, they both got captured, and we thought the wolf was killed, but he's not. But the wolf sort of has some PTSD, you basically figure, and he won't eat or anything. And in the middle of the night, he gets up, and this is the wolf's story. He gets up and leaves, and he ends up in this zoo that's not a zoo anymore, but you know, where animals are living. It used to be a zoo. There's like a gorilla there that has 4 arms, and the dog is there, and there's poachers and hunters come while they're there. And the gorilla's like talking in sign language.
That's wild because gorillas can do that.
We hide, don't speak. And they're like capturing some creatures, and the dog's like, The dog goes out and starts fighting these guys. And then once that happens, the whole entire zoo, yes. And so then there becomes a story that no one goes near there with the 4-armed gorilla, because everybody stays away from there. And that's because the dog, the wolf or whatever, the two-headed wolf. Yeah.
Yay! Hard
Geiger's
eyes.
been really good. And
you love
I like that.
An animal story.
Yeah, that's a good animal story.
You know what I mean? But you liked when Krypto
Unleashed.
is in it, and you like Unleashed, and you like.
Yeah, it's true.
I just think that that's a sweet thing that I've noticed about you, Dad, is that you like.
I like the animals.
That kind of thing. I think that's tender and sweet.
If they're well done.
Some of them are lame.
Yeah, some of them are lame.
But Frog Thor was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I guess they ended up using them in Unleashed, you know. That was a good series.
You like for it to you enjoy it when it's not a gimmick.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You enjoy it when it's a good story or the story calls for it.
Right. Oh yeah, because we talked about the DC Super Pets book. We read that too. That was good as well.
Which is super cute.
It was super cute. Yeah. My new number one is by Marvel.
Hey.
It's a mini series, so it's just going to be 5 issues, which is extremely disappointing because I wish this was the ongoing title. It is called Avengers Assemble, and I wish this was the Avengers book.
What did you enjoy about it?
So this gets them all back at Avengers Manor. Jarvis is there as the butler.
Yes.
Cap has, I mean, it feels like an old school Avengers book
yeah.
from like the 70s and 80s. There's
sweet.
a team that's out working, and then the other recruits are coming in. And while they're coming in, Hawkeye, they're playing poker, and they've got new people and old people in there. And there was a thing back in I think the 80s where the Avengers all had jackets, like bomber jackets.
Yes.
And they reintroduced the Avenger bomber jacket.
Yes.
And I am on board for this.
I was going to say merch, question mark.
That would be awesome to have that. It's a functional jacket. What?
Do you remember your Smallville
I still have it.
jacket?
I have it. Mm-hmm.
Mom had a jacket. I'm just realizing I'm speaking in code. Mom had a jacket made for Dad that was a Smallville Letterman jacket.
Sorta.
Kind of.
Yeah. She actually wishes that she had it made like a real Letterman jacket because the one I've got is more cloth.
Expensive.
I know they're expensive. but
Letterman
hey,
jackets
I'm
are
worth it.
crazy.
I'm
Yeah,
worth
you
it.
are, Dad. You can make your own. You can.
You're
we
right.
could go to the store. I know where the store is. It's in Lexington.
I know where it
went
is.
there. We could get. We could make you
It'd be a couple $100.
a Letterman jacket. We could make you an Avengers Bomber Letterman jacket.
I'm tempted. Yeah. Okay. My new number one.
Sorry. You mean your book of the week?
My book of the week. I'm sorry.
Book
This is
of the
not a new
week.
number one.
It's the book of the week.
This is World's Finest, issue 31 by DC Comics. So World's Finest is basically a Superman Batman team up comic book.
Yes.
And it's written out of continuity, which means it doesn't take place in today's comic book world. So usually when stuff
They
is
got their
out of
own
continuity,
rules.
they got their own rules. Usually when books are considered out of continuity, they have no bearing on what happens in their own universe. However, this writer, Mark Waid, who I already talked about
You like him.
earlier in the podcast, he does things that happened in the past that actually have repercussions in future comics, which has been really cool. So this is a Batman Superman team up, and this takes place with the Justice League.
Right on.
So we get a lot of the Justice League characters in this. And the villain is Eclipso, who is a villain that takes over when there's an eclipse. And basically that's what happens.
Right on.
But he's been a pretty big villain in DC. And at one point they put out like everybody one whole that was their event one year, was the Eclipso year or whatever,
Cool.
you know.
I mean, there are enough eclipses happening every day.
Exactly. So what happens is, the cool thing I liked about this book was that it's all the Justice League, old Justice League, fighting together to defeat this villain. The villain wins. And what happens is, at the end of the book, they have to get help from the Justice Society of America,
Hysterical.
which is like the JSA used to be in a different Earth. So it's like the other Flash.
Justice League.
But it's characters that, if you'd watched, there was a TV show called Stargirl. I don't know if it's out anymore, but most of those characters that were introduced there were considered the Justice
Squirrel
Society of
Girl.
America. No, that's Marvel. Good try though.
Sorry.
But like
got
Dr.
excited.
Midnight, the Wildcat, Mr. Terrific, a bunch of these characters. So
We did Mr. Terrific.
we did read that was in the Strange Adventures
Yes.
story. So anyway, next issue, we're getting the Justice League and Justice Society. Yeah, I'm excited. I've been reading a
sick.
Justice Society comic book, and it's just been so bad. It has one more issue left, and this is the book I want. Anyway,
Yeah, it's just been so bad.
it has
Well,
been.
I'm glad you're
Okay.
loving this one.
Yeah. All right, that's my books.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to dive into it. I feel like we've talked a lot tonight. We've been all over.
We've been we boo boop.
I've just finished Gravity Falls.
Wow.
Which is an animated show on Disney Plus.
Yes.
It is 2 seasons. I would say there's roughly 40 episodes.
Yeah.
And they're about 35 minutes each, 30 to 40, 30 minutes each, whatever.
20.
20 minutes each. I think they're longer than 20.
I'll Google it.
I mean, because you got to watch the end credits.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I never did go try to figure out the codes at the end of any.
I mean, hey, Trevin hasn't either.
Somebody has. You could just get on Reddit.
It's for sure on Reddit. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But so this is an animation about a set of twins. They are 12 years old, and they go from California to stay with their uncle.
Their great uncle.
Their great uncle in Oregon or
in middle of nowhere.
Oregon, I think. Yeah.
Pines. They're Pines. Yeah, they're staying in the Gravity Falls.
They're staying in Gravity Falls, Oregon. And their great uncle Stan Pines has a roadside menagerie of weird things.
Tourist trap.
Sort of like a Bigfoot tourist trap type stuff. Except he's got all kinds of weird things in there. And they go there to stay for the summer.
Yes.
They have their Wendy is the girl who works there, works the register, who is a high schooler. And Seuss, who is like the handyman, the janitor, he works there as well. And he's a big guy. Dudes.
Dudes.
Hey, dudes. Hey, dudes. And Mabel has 2 good friends called Grinda and Candy. And Wendy has 5 friends. 5 friends. And I don't remember any of their names.
Robbie. Tandy.
Robbie. Yeah, Tandy. There's the one guy who does anything to keep the group together.
Yes.
And
what is his name?
But anyway.
Shooty Poo. I can't remember.
Those are the main characters for a while. Towards the end, we are introduced. Well, no. We have a set of villains. There's Little Gideon. Who's hilarious. I like Little Gideon. We get the main villain is Bill Cipher, which is a creature from an alternate universe.
Creature is an optimum. Thompson. Trevin knew. It was Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson. Yeah. And it's not Oregon either. It's Oregon. Anyway.
I love him so much.
That's funny. And then, we find out that Stanford Pines is not his real name, but that he has a twin as well, who is the real Stanford.
And he's actually Stanley Pines.
He's actually Stanley Pines.
Because it's Stan and Ford.
Oh, and then we've got the Lazy Susan, who's a lady who works at a...
The cast?
Yeah. So anyway, Hannah, go ahead, explain this to us. Talk to me about it.
It's these 2 kids that are having a ragtag summer away from the city with their grunkle, which is great uncle. They make it Grunkle, so it's Grunkle Stan, and which is also funny just because he's a grumpy individual, and so he is a Grunkle. A great Uncle Stan. And Mabel and Dipper have a wild summer. In part because Gravity Falls is not your average town.
No.
Dipper at the very beginning of the season, of season 1, finds a book.
And with the number 3 on it.
Has a 6-fingered hand and a number 3 on it. And in the book are different things and different mythical creatures and different magical things that can be found in the town.
Someone has written a book explaining the things that they've discovered there.
Like an anthropological finding notebook of the different magical creatures that are created.
Like somebody's own research that he discovers.
Like their personal notebook. And shenanigans ensue.
And he uses the book.
He uses the book, and sometimes it's gnomes or mermen or zombies.
Mermando.
Sometimes it's a ghost. Or it's
Blendon Blandon.
sometimes it's time baby shows up.
It's time the time baby shows up. Yes.
I sound like I am having an interesting trip explaining this.
It is hard to explain.
It is very hard to explain. It is so sweet though. So Dipper and Mabel, our two main characters, are 12.
And they're twins.
They're twins. And so they are very, very good friends, even though they're very different. Dipper is studious and he cares a lot about being smart and being perceived as smart. Mabel is a crafty, happy-go-lucky, silly lady.
I got my grappling gun.
Grappling hook.
Yeah, grappling hook. Yeah.
And so she wears a different sweater in every single episode that she hand knit herself based on the theme of the episode. She ends up making a pig be her friend and the pig becomes her pet. Like Mabel and
I forgot the name of the pig.
Waddles.
Waddles, that's right. The funny thing about that, I love this part about Waddles. The Waddles is the pig that she wins the pig. That whole entire episode gets screwed up because Dipper wants to win Wendy's heart.
Yeah.
So he keeps screwing up with time and ends up, when he does win Wendy's heart, every time he does, if he wins Wendy's heart, Mabel doesn't get
Waddles.
So he ends up letting it happen to where he doesn't get the girl, but he never gets the girl because he's 12. But she gets Waddles. But anyway, so she ends up having this pig. At one point, Waddles becomes super smart.
That episode is hysterical.
And it's Neil, what's his name?
Neil deGrasse
Tyson is the voice, which was hilarious. He's the voice of Waddles the pig. Yeah.
It's very, very funny. It's smart.
Yeah. And up until about the last 3 episodes, I think kids would love it. It gets weird and I don't think it's as creepy as Hannah thinks it is.
I don't like spooky things though.
Yeah. Bill Cipher is a punk.
When he turns into like a triangle of like muscle without flesh.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. And the chair made of all the people of the town was a little bit weird. But the funny thing was how you pull the mayor out and they all fall down.
Call me Bodacious T.
Get it.
Did you see Toby Determined coming out and being like, call me Bodacious T?
Yes, it's funny. And then the mayor, where's it? Get him.
When little Gideon gets mad.
Has his change of heart.
Yeah. No, when little Gideon.
You tell Mabel I did this for her. Little Gideon is like a little itty bitty kid with like an Elvis haircut with a yellow like blonde, and it's like psychic, but he's not. He's sort of sold his soul to the devil and he just wants Stan's thing, and
he just wants to own the house.
He's so cute, little Gideon.
Just whittle me.
Just whittle me.
He's awful. And then his dad owns the
car dealership.
And so in Weird Mageddon, he's like in charge of Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh yes, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's about one of the last ones.
Car dealership. Hysterical. Okay,
do I have what? You
go first.
No, you go.
You were going to say the thing about what?
Very, very cool titles. Very, of the episodes. You
were telling me about how smart it was and how that was.
Yeah, Larry King, the Larry King wax figure that's still alive at the end. Yeah, and that was really voiced by Larry King and Coolio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You were saying to me that there were a lot of jokes that you think maybe I missed.
I'd have to go back and rewatch it because there was a lot of stuff. Yes, that I would say a lot of people would miss, except, they were hints and homages to things that I would have seen as a kid or growing up. But I would have to go back and rewatch it because I didn't make a list of those. But
I really liked So this is a TV show that my husband and I watch at the end of every summer. So we watch this August-ish every year. And it is very special to both of us and to our marriage. Like we each got tattoos based off of Gravity Falls. So we care a lot, and I love this show. It is a show that you can watch over and over again and see something new every single time. This past time that we were watching it, we were noticing all of the triangles that are just built into the Mystery Shack.
Oh yeah, they're all into it everywhere.
That they're
Even
everywhere.
The window. Yeah.
Like there are triangles all over the Mystery
I'll tell you what
Shack.
I didn't catch. You have to go back. Brendan Blandon is in all those episodes.
Yeah.
Brendan Blandon was a time traveler. So if you go back and watch some of the episodes, he is in the background of them. And there's an episode where you see him going back and forth and seeing all this stuff.
There's a character that one of the funniest inside jokes to me is the free pizza guy. There's a guy who just always shows up anytime that there's pizza and it says free pizza and has a giant pizza on it. And when they go back in time and he's a child, his free pizza shirt is just a slice of pizza.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Which is hysterical. So it's very clever. There's always going to be something that you can pay attention to or that you can see. It's funny. We laugh out loud every single time we watch it. We weep every time we watch it at the end when they're reading the letter and they're saying goodbye.
Oh, yeah. That's sweet.
I just cry. Mm-hmm. Trevor and I are both sitting there crying in the club.
Oh, Pacifica. We forgot about her, too.
Oh, Pacifica stinks. Pacifica Northwest.
She becomes good. She's still, you got to appreciate her at the end. The community comes together. Even the sort of bad ones are still, they have good in them. Hannah's rocking back and forth. She was redeemable. She saved all those people.
Okay.
She did. And then the old crazy cooter ended up buying the house.
Old man McGucket.
Who was actually Stanford's research assistant.
Stanford's research assistant.
Who went crazy.
I think the thing that I think is extra beautiful about this is that it's about different types of love. It's about love of family. It's about love of siblings. It's about love of friends. Love of the people that are there for you.
Mm-hmm. And some romance. Susan, the real girl.
That was so funny.
I know. Dude.
And when he has like 100 different jobs.
I could be Grunkle Stan. I could cosplay Grunkle Stan.
You could cosplay Grunkle Stan.
100%.
You would need an eye patch and
in
the
hat.
And then just a red string. Dad, you already have.
I found my cosplay. I've got the beard. I've already got it.
And the glasses are like Grunkle Stan's glasses.
I already thought about this. I'm like, I found something I can cosplay as.
Dad, you can cosplay as Grunkle Stan so easily.
I know. Now we just got to get somebody to be Seuss, dudes. You just got to get him the shirt with the big question mark on it.
Right, and I'll be Mabel and Trevin. So
who's your favorite character?
That's not fair. Other than like the main like 6.
Well, I mean any of them.
Grinda. Here comes Grinda. Make room for Grinda.
So they have this part in that Dungeons where they all grab like a weapon, and she's holding a easy chair. This girl that's voiced by a fella, 100%.
By a fella, and she's just like.
So this was created and done by Alex Hirsch, who is Judd Hirsch's son. Most people know Judd as the guy from Taxi, also the dad of the Jeff Goldblum's dad in the Independence Day movie. Yes. Bring it all back to Independence Day.
It all comes back to Bill Pullman.
All comes back to Bill Pullman.
I'm writing that down. That's going to be the title of this episode.
J.K. Simmons is Stanford. I don't want to give it away, but if you've not seen it, you guys should watch it. It's TV 7.
Trevin and I were talking. We think middle school. The problem is that you don't want to wait too long because when you get to like end of middle school, kids aren't going to think this is cool.
Yeah, I don't know. They might. It's pretty fun. So it seemed to me, here's the deal. It seemed to me in the second season, they got about 15, 16 episodes in and then realized this is going to be the last season. We got to wrap it up.
What I have heard is that Alex Hirsch has said that it was always going to be a limited run, that he didn't want to make more than 2 seasons.
Well, that's fine, but it felt to me like they just, like the last 4 episodes were like, wrap it up.
Yeah, the Weird Mageddon episodes.
Yeah. Yes. Uh-huh.
I prefer the typical ragtag episodes to the Weird Mageddon episodes.
What's your favorite? Then what episode did you like the best out of all of those?
I like Dreamscaper Capers, where we first meet Bill Cipher. Did you notice that when Bill Cipher first meets Seuss, Mabel, and Dipper, what he says?
No, I don't remember.
Shooting star, ? Pine tree. He's like, hello, shooting star, ? Pine tree.
Oh, that's cool. No, I have to go back and watch
You'll have to go back and watch, because Trevin and I watched it when we were watching the second time. We were like, so I really like that episode. I like the Waddles episode with Lyndon Blandon.
Yeah, I like that one.
The Lyndon Blandon episode is really good. Do you have a favorite episode, Dad?
I would say Summerween was pretty fun.
Summerween is hysterical. I'm traumatized.
And I think the Seuss and the Real Girl, I really did like that one. And then I liked the one where they go around and they punk all the other roadsides.
You stopped watching that because Dipper was being a turd nugget.
I watched it. I watched it all. Was it the Love? No, it wasn't the Love God.
The Love God is the one.
That's the one where she steals the potion from the Love God. Yeah.
Who's Cupid?
Yeah.
My favorite
Roadside Attraction. Roadside Attraction. That was that one.
With Grunkle Stan's balloon. It was the Woodstick Festival, and then his balloon comes up, and it was like, eat kids.
I eat kids. And it's on fire.
And it's on fire, and his face is melting.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Well, I would recommend it. I'm so glad that you watched it. There are just some really, really funny things that Trevin and I quote sometimes. And I'm glad.
This definitely has high rewatchability. So this will be something that I'll put on in the background while I'm working on a mosaic or something. Yeah, because now that I've seen it once, it's really good. And I recommend, I think Trevin had put in the chat that it's TV 12, but on the Disney page, if you go to watch it, it says TVY7.
Man.
So I don't know.
It was originally released on Disney XD, which was Disney's like
older
Cartoon Network-y
edgier comics.
Edgier quote unquote cartoons.
Gotcha.
So Disney XD, what else was on Disney XD? Do you have any idea?
No, I don't remember that garb.
I'm Googling it. What else was on Disney XD?
Away.
Phineas and Ferb was on Disney XD, Big Hero 6, DuckTales.
Well, yeah, I get that. I mean, I think this is right up there with Phineas and Ferb as far as maturity level. Maybe, yeah, I think so. But
Kicking It, Lab Rats, they're more like.
They're not baby. It's not Bluey or Dora or Bob the Builder.
I'm dead at you.
Why?
I think you're funny. At least Bluey is like relevant.
Yeah, I've never watched them, but I know a lot of adults would love it.
Trevin and I love it.
Anywho, well, guys, this is we need to sign this off.
We're done. We need to be done.
Gravity Falls is a definite watch, and watch it with your kids. You would love it.
What would you say? 5 out of 5 what? Grappling hooks? Fezzes?
Fezzes. Or I would give it a 6 out of 6.
Because he's got a 6-fingered, the 6-fingered man. 6 out of 6.
6 out of 6.
We love.
Yeah. Or 5 fezzes.
Friends, thanks for coming to hang out with us on our little corner of the internet. We are so glad that you chose to hang out with us. Hey, our intro music is created by Brockwell Nason. You can check him out anywhere you listen to music. I would recommend it. He's a new dad, and he is excellent.
He needs the money. He needs the money.
Give him the cash. Our art was made by Nate, my dear sweet brother. Thanks for doing that for us, bud. It looks excellent. I edit and upload our podcast in a semi-timely manner, and Dad edits and uploads our videos in an also semi-timely manner.
That's right, guys. So we thank you so much for being with us. We've just got 4 episodes left till we hit 100. It's going to be a lot of fun. All
This
of our
year.
guests that we've got lined up. None. We have 0.
That literally stop. Why do you say that?
But anyway, people have to listen all the way. Anyway, until we talk to you next time, we will
Catch you on the flippity flop. Bye, friends.
Bye, guys.